So speaking a little bit about your orchestral career, you've done quite extensive touring in Europe, Mexico, Japan, the United States. Can you talk a little bit about maybe some highlights or some experiences, maybe even some advice for people who are trying to, juggle touring and keeping a healthy mentality as they do it?
Wow. Well, I feel like I didn't have a healthy mentality when I did it. Let me tell you. A lot of what the opportunities that I had were really exciting, and they mainly came from things that I did as a student, where like going to a festival. For example, I went to the Lucerne Festival, and the Lucerne Festival had an opportunity they needed 2 horn players to go on tour with Pierre Boulez for this one particular work that they were going to do. And they were just asking people from this academy if they would go. So I got to go with another horn playing friend of mine, and we toured all over and we played 10 notes or something. I mean, it was amazing to get to sit on stage with a conductor like that, and Barbara Hannigan was singing, and in an ensemble like that. It was very formative, and learning how to regulate a little bit on tour. I mean, that was something that I was probably too young to really recognize that I needed to do. If I was going to do that kind of thing now, I would definitely be a lot more mindful about my eating habits, my water intake, my sleep, all of that stuff, and practicing, because, I think people call it tour face or whatever. You just get used to, you just play the show. And that's really what happened. And I wasn't worried about it at the time, but now I would be a lot more careful. Yeah.
And some other playing experience that you do, you are a member of the Cobalt Quartet. Can you talk a little bit about your quartet, about how it was formed, what exciting things are going on?
Sure. So the Cobalt Quartet was formed in 2017. Back when I was teaching, I taught for 1 year at Henderson State University in Arkansas. And it kind of ended up a connection between myself and a friend, and then one of her friends and a friend. And we all came together at my university there and just read some quartets one day, like, this could be a fun thing. Let's see what happens. And we all melded really well together. We played really well together. We all kind of came from like Chicago, Madison sort of schools of horn playing. And yeah, we've done a lot of cool things since then. We've done a lot of tours to different universities, playing horn quartet programs, working with students. And then this last International Horn Society, which was virtual, we did a presentation on repertoire for the horn quartet that actually we're going to reprise and kind of reintroduce at the IWBC conference in May. So that group, our mission is like really dedicated to like the university teaching environment, programming interesting repertoire, and just getting out there and playing,
Feel free to not answer this one if you're not comfortable, but can you talk a little bit about what it's like performing and rehearsing in an all-female ensemble? Do you feel like it's different? Is there a different experience of being in an ensemble like that?
Yeah, I think that there is. It's hard to say exactly what it is. I feel like there's some mutual experience that I don't know, we've gone through as like women brass students in, going through the education process. And so there's a lot of commonality in mindset and approach. A lot of us had similar mentors, which has been really important. I think that because of that, we also had a really similar approach to playing. So I don't know if that's because we're women or because we had similar teachers, but it definitely works really well together. The dynamic of the group is really super supportive and completely non-competitive, which I've experienced that in other groups anyway, regardless of that element. Yeah, I don't know if that's what changes it or not, but it's a great dynamic, and we really like it. So we're happy whenever we get to, because we all live in different places, we're always happy when we get together and play.
Awesome. I can definitely empathize with that. Eclipsis has never been in the same place. Our first in-person tour is actually next month, so we're looking forward to that. But the challenges of a remote ensemble, I definitely get that.
Yeah. Well, I'll say that the benefit of COVID, oh my gosh, has been that we have learned some new technology that helps us to rehearse remotely. Before that, we had this kind of idea of, oh, well, maybe we could record tracks and kind of like practice with each other that way. Now we know exactly how to do that and create like a practice sort of thing. And that was really cool. That was how we were able to record the virtual session last year. And gosh, even though it was through my computer, it was so nice to get to play with my colleagues, in my basement, but it was still really great. Yeah.